Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first track of case studies here at HR Week 2022. This day is devoted to people-centric practices, to everything people-wise, employee experience, and it's a great privilege that I can welcome Marijana Miljanović from Hyperoptic here today. Marijana has extensive experience in leading people, and I'm sure that she's gonna share all the best practices they have within their organization here with us today. Marijana, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Masha. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, HR community. I am very happy to be with you today and happy to share the topic that I'm personally very passionate about. And this is the topic You Said We Did. Let me just share my screen. My name is Marijana. I am coming from Hyperoptic, and this is really the story about our company's success and about the story of growth through people. So this is all about today's conversation. First of all, let me introduce myself a little bit more. I am a psychologist, and I think that shaped a lot the way I work and the way that I am passionate about my job. I've always been passionate about growth, about fast-paced environments, and curious about people. So this is exactly the way how I could reflect all the passion within Hyperoptic. So Hyperoptic is UK's fastest broadband, and we started operating 11 years ago in the UK, and then afterwards we opened our offices in Serbia. The mission of Hyperoptic is 2 gigabit Britain, so really in short. And why those things are important? Because I wanted really to share today with you the story about how we hit our milestone from 2 employees to 2,000 employees by keeping people at the heart of what we do. I don't know what you had for breakfast, but we all know that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And this is exactly the story of how we managed to shape our culture to support us in achieving our business goals. So I just wanted to share quickly how our environment has changed. As I say, that we started from 2 people until today that we have more than 2,000 people. So different sides of environments on defining every company and consequent culture are important. So first of all, the size. We started really as a startup. We always had 2 locations, so that is the UK and Serbia. When it comes to ownership, it's a private company. And when it comes to people, in the early beginnings, people were really very familiar with each other. People knew each other because clearly it was a startup and less number of people. In the stage of the biggest growth, I could say that we moved on the scale from startup to a corporate environment. And we've also changed actually how people know each other. So the bigger the company is, people less know each other. And how Hyperoptic environment is today. So we are really inclining toward the corporate environment, and people that we work with, we are still on the known scale more rather than unknown, but still there is a big difference. So when it comes to size and people, those are 2 elements that were really the key throughout every phase of our growth. And I want to show you actually how we managed to keep people at the heart of what we do, at the heart of every transformation during our growth. So first of all, engagement has always been an important topic for us. So we had Pulse survey in the beginning, which was internally designed survey, and it was like a temperature check across the business. When I say internal NPS score, it means that people just had to respond to 2 simple questions. Are you happy with Hyperoptic? And would you recommend Hyperoptic? And other questions we were changing time after time. So when it comes to employee survey, our internally designed, we had it quarterly and it was non-anonymous. So this is very important to highlight here. Thinking strategically about our engagement and where we want to be as a company, we've decided to engage with Great Places to Work in 2020. Okay, so Great Places to Work is our management consultancy helping us to identify strengths and areas across the business using their tool that is very specific and that is benchmarked across 60, 70 countries across the world. So very different industries, different scalings of the business, and so on. Thinking strategically, why I say so, because we really wanted to benchmark ourselves against other companies. So not just to have an internal measure of engagement. We were also aware of the risks, especially having in mind that we launched a Great Place to Work in 2020. First of all, it was COVID hit, and just changing the engagement survey in that type of environment was a little bit risky, right? So we were cautious about the results. The second thing was really anonymity, since the Great Places to Work is anonymous, and our pulse survey was not anonymous. So when we launched it, we actually realized that our engagement scores remained the same. So our scores remain at the same level, which it is a good point, a good starting point actually with implementing that kind of survey, since we realized back then that our people, even before, when there was pulse survey which had attached every single name with every single response, people could be really open and comfortably share feedback with us. So Great Place to Work is a tool. So it helps us with insights, and using those insights, we've designed other tools and frameworks to continue nurturing our culture and engagement in Hyperoptic. So let's just put these things in 3 buckets. So the first one is really leadership communities. The second one is people communities, and the third one, specific frameworks. So let's move to the first one. When it comes to leadership communities, we now have senior leadership team stand-up, which happens every week. Senior leaders are discussing the key topics across the business, informing each other, brainstorming and problem solving, and then consequently cascade this through their teams. We then also created line manager community, which happens once a month. So line managers are helping and brainstorming about different things that are happening across the business. So each and every line manager within Hyperoptic is part of this community, and we can say proudly that we have now more than 300 line managers attending the call. Also, we have senior Belgrade managers community, which is specifically related to Belgrade, so specifically related to location, tracking what's going on in the market, how we can improve our employee experience, what we can do to engage people more, and so on. So everything that is Belgrade based. When it comes to people communities, we've also created Employee Voice Forum. So what is this? We have representatives from each and every team across the business where people can actually apply and be the representatives, so be the employee voice champion for their teams. And then they have a direct link with the CEO. So CEO is chairing this meeting, and they have a discussion once in a quarter about all of the relevant topics. So voicing people's opinions and concerns directly to the CEO, and CEO is responding straight away. What is also very important with this forum is that we have a set of actions that are defined during this forum, and we have a name of the owner attached to every action, so we can track the progress and we can see how it's going. We also have munch and learns that all people can apply and share their best practices or something that's new happening across the business. The third bucket, specific frameworks. First of all, we have now a talent council, which happens once a quarter, where we are discussing our talents and how we manage talents at Hyperoptic. We also have divisional specific feedback forum and engineering roadshows, which is related only to our population of engineers. So to shed some light how it looks like at Hyperoptic, and I would really love that you can see this slide, but I hope that I can share it afterwards, is you said we did. What does it actually mean? There's plenty of feedback that we've received throughout so many years, but I will just pick few to share with you to give you just a little bit more flavor. What does it look like? So you said too many meetings. What we did, we introduced no meeting time. So what does it mean? We wanted to dig deeper and see what is the amount of meetings that happens across the business. Why do people have that perception? And then we see that, okay, the best way to do it is really to block out time in diaries and have no meeting time to everyone. We've also created no meeting etiquette. And all these things combined is something that really empowered people to use the time that's been created for something else, everything else but just meetings. Then you said lack of recognition. What we did, we introduced peer-to-peer recognition. So this was something like a very simple action that we done, having in mind that people want to be more recognized. People want to recognize their peers. So we created a platform where people can recognize their peers, give hyper five, nominate a hyper team, and have hyper heroes across the business. So that is also a word that's been monetized. So this is something that works really nicely, and people are really happy to see, oh, who nominated me for Hyper 5 and for which reason. So that is something that really boosts the engagement. You said lack of socialization. What we did, we created opportunities for people to socialize. We created Breakfast Club. We have our MD, which is based in Belgrade, and having very proudly the position of barista, preparing coffee for people. And this is really an opportunity to not just go grab a coffee and leave the room. It's just a chance to meet with him and to speak directly and very informally. We've also created a certain list of different team events, parties, and so on. Based on all those actions that we've implemented, we can proudly say that our engagement remained really high, which led us to external recognition that has arrived from the Great Places to Work. So you said we did, it's something that really works, not just internally, but externally as well. So this benchmark is very powerful, and we've been Great Place to Work certified. So what does it mean being certified? It means that your engagement scores are higher than the certain benchmark. Second thing that we are the most proud of is being nominated for Best Workplaces for Wellbeing. So we are in the large organization category, one of the top 50 companies for well-being, which is something that is cherry on top, having in mind all of the hard work we've put into it, and especially having in mind how well-being is category is very important today. So key takeaways, and what I really want you to remember from our presentation. So first of all, you need to empower people, because empowerment underpins everything you do. Let's go back for the moment on the no meeting time. It's very simple. People have a natural inclination to set up a meeting during no meeting time because, oh, I don't have to look at the diaries because I know that you will be here. No meeting time is really not dedicated to meetings. It's everything else but meetings. And don't shy away from repeating this. You need to empower people to decline every meeting when it's the no meeting time. Empowerment also means for all of the other actions that I mentioned. Number 2, communicate effectively. So we've all heard so many times about communication and how it is important, but what does it really mean? Listen carefully and attentively. So there is a basic human need to be listened to. Feedback in timely manner. So feedback has to be really quick. And when I say feedback, it means that you also need to be assertive. So not everything you said we did. You know when to say no, because there is a reason for saying no. And also check in regularly. Feedback loop has to be in place. Number 3, how you do it is what matters. So it's all about the behaviors you use during this process. Is about being courageous, is about being respectful and act with integrity. If there is no integrity, it's very hard to do any kind of the change. Number 4, set realistic expectations. So there is no magic stick. And we can always have many problems and challenges that are going to happen because the world is changing, business is changing, people are changing, everything is changing. And we really need to have to practice and to build a muscle that change is something that is actually in our DNA. We live and breathe the change. Number 5, when I say you said we did, let's just have a look at the we part here. So we is an open invite. So we, it's not just a leader's job. This is not just an HR job. This is an open invite for everyone who wants to create a change. Everyone who wants to be the leader of a change is welcome to join to this category. So 5 key takeaways. Since I started with a quote, I really also want to end up with a quote because this one is so powerful and really underpins everything what I've said. 100% of customers are people. 100% of employees are people. 100% of investors are people. If you don't understand people, you don't understand business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marijana, so much. And I'm very sorry that we didn't succeed in presentation and sharing your screen, but I think you rocked this. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and everything that you're doing within your organization. For our audience actually participating in HR Week, I strongly suggest that you reach out to Marijana via LinkedIn if you have any questions or just need a support or advice in implementing something like this within your organization. Thank you very much, Marijana, again, and see you very soon.
Thank you, Masha.
Bye.
Bye.